All right, guys, it's August, and we are back in the land of Israel. And I was just here a week and a half ago, and it's hard to believe that I'm back in the glorious land again. And of course, we are in the city of Tel Aviv. It's a modern-day city established around 1901 or so. And there is modern Tel Aviv Strip, as you can see it today. And we're over here. We're looking at the choppy Great Sea, known as the Mediterranean Sea in the Bible. And I'm not sure, but if you look way out there in the, I'm going to try to see if I can zoom in for you. Okay, right there, you are looking at the city of Jaffa. Jaffa was known in biblical times as Joppa. Joppa. That's where Jonah fled from the presence of the Lord on those very choppy waters. Now you see right there, on his way to Tarshish, and from these very waters is where that great whale, huge sea creature, whatever it was, swallowed him up. As a matter of fact, there was just a recent news report. Of a man who was swallowed up by a whale, and the whale ended up spitting him back out. Was probably in his mouth for maybe a few minutes, but the whale ended up spitting him back out. So, you know, it's just amazing that when you come here and you see these places that are talked about in the Bible, and yet you see these with your very own eyes. You know, this is my 25th trip here. You know, we're excited to have my friend Jesus Padilla, and there he is right there.
Hello.
His very first time here in Israel, and the best is yet to come for him. Look at these waters right here. Look how choppy these waters are, as they just crash up against the rocks there. You know, this is the Great Sea in the Bible. You know, Solomon's ships came from the area of Lebanon here, as it was taking lumber from Hiram of Tyre, taking it to Jerusalem, you know, for the rebuilding of the first, the building of the first temple. And of course, Paul the Apostle sailed these very waters as he's making his way down to Asia Minor. Roman ships sailed all across these very waters. But the thing about the Great Sea, and that would be Yam Gadol in Hebrew. The Bible tells us in Ezekiel chapter 47 and verse number 10 that one day waters from the Great Sea, right here, the Mediterranean, will one day flow through the Temple Mount, through the Millennial Temple, through the Kidron Valley, through the Mount of Olives, and the waters from the Great Sea here will end up in the Yam HaMelach. That's Hebrew for the Dead Sea. And the Bible tells us that the Dead Sea will come back to life. Can you imagine that? The waters of the Great Sea that we're looking at right here will one day flow into the Dead Sea. And yet the Bible says that fishes from En-Gedi, which is near the Dead Sea, will be able to fish in the Dead Sea. Now, you can't fish in the Dead Sea now because you'll be there for a long, long time without even getting a bite, because there's nothing that can survive the Dead Sea. But yet Ezekiel tells us that fish from the Great Sea, fish from the Mediterranean Sea, will one day be in the Dead Sea. And yet the Bible says that one day the Dead Sea will come back to life. And so, again, here we are walking on this walkway here. And of course, there are many people out here that are walking. Kind of windy. When we first landed here in Israel, it was like really raining out pretty hard, but it seemed to stop now. You know, there's one ominous rain cloud right there. Yeah, look how choppy these waters. Look at that. Man, look at that. You see that? Wow. See that? Look at this. Look at this. Look at this.
That was neat.
I mean, these waters are raging today. Look at that. Look how, that's amazing. And you know, sometimes you see the the Great Sea calm, but today it's not calm. It's pretty choppy. But you know, the Bible talks about the Great Sea, the Mediterranean Sea, in Bible prophecy. This ocean, this body of water, will play a major role in end-time Bible prophecy. When the waters from this very sea will flow into the Dead Sea, and yet the Bible says the Dead Sea will come to life. Fishes from En-Gedi will go to the Dead Sea. They'll be able to, the Bible says, cast their nets into the Dead Sea. And the Dead Sea, the Bible says, will come back to life. Can you, I mean, God leaves no stone unturned. You come into the land of Israel, because the land of Israel, and I love to use alliteration here, the land of Israel is the land of promise, it's the land of prophecy, and it's the land of primacy. Why do I say primacy? Because in the future, Israel will be the head of the nations and not the tail of the nations. Even though God told the Jewish prophets, even though I make an end of all nations, I will not make an end of the nation of Israel. Israel is promised eternal longevity. But yet God says, I will make an end to all nations except Israel. And Ezekiel chapter 5 verse 5 tells us that Jerusalem is the very center of the earth. And the kingdom will emanate from the holy city of Jerusalem. So again, being here in the land of Israel, my 25th trip here, and you see these waters that the Bible talks about. I showed you Jaffa. Again, let's get a zero in on that there, where Jonah fled from the presence of the Lord. There is Jaffa in the distance, known as Joppa in biblical times. Today it's called Jaffa, or in Hebrew they say Yaffo. Yaffo, Y-A-F-F-O, Yaffo, because there is no J in the Hebrew alphabet. So the J is replaced with the Y, or the Yod, Y-O-D, the smallest letter in the Hebrew alphabet. So they say Yaffo. In biblical times, Joppa, or what they call today Jaffa, or in Hebrew, Yaffo. And so I just wanted to share all of this with you. We got more video to come, as we just arrived with my tour for our Bible prophecy tour of Israel. We're going to kick things off tomorrow, March 25th, going all the way to April the 3rd, and visiting Petra on this tour, because Petra will also play a major role in end-time Bible prophecy. Petra, located in southern Jordan, that's also going to be one of our stops. So, all right guys, stay tuned for more video here from the land of Eretz Israel, the land of Israel.